We're going over the cliff.
I almost did. If it hadn't been for Kevin, are you okay, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's just, when I reached out to grab you, I remembered what happened with Marcia.
You did?
Everything. I remember the entire day.
If it's too painful, you don't have to...
No. I mean, yes, it is. It's painful. I watched someone die, but I didn't do it. Ryan killed her.
But you said you threw knives.
Yes, I threw knives, but, Victor, I was afraid of Ryan. I threw knives, yes, but not at Marcia. I threw them away into the trees.
But Ryan didn't do that.
No. He wanted to hurt her. We'd heard you and Mother fighting over Marcia.
Well, maybe Ryan wanted to hurt Marcia because she was hurting his family.
Ryan said we were going to play knife thrower, like we'd seen at the circus that day. He took some steak knives that Mother had brought with us to the picnic. I thought it was a game until he told me to throw them at Marcia.
Oh, you poor kid.
I refused to do it. We started fighting, and Marcia she was standing up there right by the water. She heard our voices, she turned around, and Ryan threw a knife, and he hit her right in the shoulder. I started fighting with him some more and tried to get him to stop, but he wouldn't. I ran towards Marcia. I'm not really sure why. Maybe to block the knives. She was screaming and bleeding. She was trying to block her baby from the knives. I don't think she knew how close she was to the edge. That's when she lost her balance and started to fall.
And that's when you reached out to her.
The same way you reached out to Eve.
And I caught the baby. I was too small to hold on to Marcia. I don't know, maybe she knew that. And she let go so that her baby would live.
You saved the baby.
I did.
Well, that should give you some kind of closure to know that.
Except Marcia died.
Oh, Monk. All these years, I thought you killed Marcia.
That's why you could never tell me about this day.
I thought you'd buried the memory of what you'd done, and I thought it was best to leave it like that.
I feel sorry for Ryan. He was just a kid. He couldn't have known what he was doing.
Ryan was always my mother's victim.
I should have protected him. I should have found a way.
Victor, I need to go home and bandage my elbow. Come on.
Bravo, Kevin, bravo. I just love a good breakthrough.
Why don't you guys go ahead? I'll catch up.
You lied to me about who killed Marcia. I didn't do it. I never said you did. Oh, come on, stop complaining. You should be thanking me for pointing you in the right direction. You didn't do it to help me. You enjoyed feeding me half-truths about the picnic. Potato, potato. Besides, you got what you wanted, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I found out I'm not like you. I'm not a killer.
Bully for you. Anyway, it's time to go, Kev. I'd say see you around, but you won't. You're leaving? No reason to stay. You're done with me.
No, not by a long shot. I need to know how our childhood relates to the general homicide killer.
Oh. Then you do have more work to do.
You have the answer, don't you?
That's for me to know and you to find out. You abandoned me once, Kevin. Time to abandon you. Bye-bye, bro.
No! Damn you, Ryan! We're not finished.
What has happened?
Come here, sweetie.
Why are you crying?
Well, I feel really sad.
Why?
Well, sweetheart, something very serious has happened, and we were just discussing a way to tell you.
Daddy says the best way is just to spit it out.
He did say that, didn't he?
Serena, honey. I'm really sorry to tell you this, but Daddy had an accident, and he won't be coming home tonight.
When will he be coming back?
He won't be coming back, honey. Our Daddy died.
No. No. He did not die. No.
Honey.
Serena,
Come here, sweetie.
Daddy. Daddy is with your mommy now. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry, Serena.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. You cry. It's all right.
Detective Garcia, stopping by to deliver my get-out-of-jail-free card?
Sorry, but I don't have my spare on me.
Oh, too bad. Judge gave Lee a week continuance because of Scott's death. Didn't expect to see you till the trial resumed.
I've found new evidence involving Eve Lambert.
Ah, I heard. Eve kept souvenirs from the murder victims.
Apparently.
Well, let me guess why you're here. You want to find some way to make me responsible for Eve's trophies.
Actually, I'm starting to believe you might be telling the truth.
I found Scott's address book.
Oh my. All his names. Clients, I guess, yes. Well, I'll have to, call them, tell them about Scott.
Come here. We'll only tell his friends. Everybody else can read about it in the newspaper, don't you think?
Yes, of course, you're right. Thank you. I'm just so glad you're here.
I'm very glad to be here, and we'll take turns making these phone calls, okay?
Yes.
I'll help you take care of that, and well, look, my mom, she left her itinerary for Europe on the front page, so Scott went missing. She's so thoughtful.
You'll have to call her.
Yeah, I have to let her know.
Do you think you could reach her?
How am I gonna tell her that Scott's dead?
I hereby declare the nightmare of the Collins picnic finally over. We can put it to rest.
Well, if we had some champagne, we could drink to that.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Mark never murdered anyone. In fact, he saved the life of Marcia's baby that day. It means we don't have to stay on this wretched island a moment longer. We need to banish that, but first we need to pack because we're going back to Port Charles to celebrate.
Actually, Victor, Eve and I came up here for a reason.
I'm on the lam, Victor. Someone tried to kill me in Port Charles, and I'm not going to let whoever it was get a second chance.
No. It's much more important. You go back to Port Charles as soon as possible and explain to the police about your murder memorabilia.
What?
What?
You know, your collection from the victims. The police found it right after you left town.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
You know, the keepsakes from the victims.
I don't have any keepsakes.
Well, of course, they were items for a 3D flowchart, right? I've built several devices like that myself in the past. The problem is the police don't have much understanding of that sort of involvement. They get confused.
Victor, what did they find?
Well, there were no specifics, of course, but I did hear reports of personal effects and photos hidden behind a wall in Eve's closet. Well, you can tell him what was there yourself, Eve.
Kevin, someone is trying to frame me. You've got to believe me.
I do. This has been the killer's M.O. since the beginning. Frame one person after another.
Oh, great. And now it's my turn on the hot seat.
Well, I think you need to go back to Port Charles to explain all this to the police. You do it very convincingly. I'm sure they'll believe you.
I have been stalked. I've been shoved in a freezer. And I have been framed with more evidence than you can shake a stick at. In a state that has a death penalty. I'm not going back to Port Charles. Eve and I were both swamped with our work at the hospital. I remember she used to like to watch action movies when she got home. She said it relaxed her, but the sound made it impossible for me to sleep. This isn't helping, is it?
Not yet.
I'm drawing a blank. It seems so long ago.
Just give it some thought, okay?
I will. I'll try and make a list of things.
I'll have a guard escort you back to your cell.
Thank you.
For what? I didn't do anything.
You listen to me.
Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. How's it going?
Not good.
What's the matter? Is it Joe?
It's Scott. He was flying his plane, and he had an accident.
But he's going to be all right, isn't he?
He didn't make it.
Oh, my God.
And his plane went down in Florida, and Lucy Coe was with him.
I can't believe this.
Just gonna miss him so much.
I am too, sweetie. Oh, God, how's Serena?
I don't know. I think she's in shock. I mean, I don't think that it's real for her, you know?
So awful to lose your father at that age, isn't it?
I know. At any age, really.
Oh, no. I didn't mean it that way. Not the way it sounded.
I know, Mom.
Honey, I realize you didn't have your father around for a very long time, but I know that he loved you with all his heart. I know that.
Mom, why did I have so little time with Scott? Why didn't you tell me about him sooner?
The night you were conceived was just one of those nights, you know. We weren't in love. We weren't even a couple.
But why did you keep me a secret?
Well, Scott had this really bright future, and I guess I just didn't want to ruin it.
But you could have given him the choice on it, don't you think?
Back then, when you got a girl pregnant, you married her, and I just didn't want the Baldwins, or I didn't want Scott to feel trapped, and I guess I didn't want to feel that way either, sweetie.
Yeah, well, I guess it was your choice.
You want me to come home right now? I will.
I think Scott would probably want you to finish up his business there in Europe, I guess.
Yeah, knowing Scott, he probably would. Well, I guess I'll just, I think I'll just wrap things up here in Germany, and then I'll come home, all right?
Mom, I can't wait to see you.
Me too. In the meantime, tell Joe to give you a big hug for me, okay?
Okay, I will. Hey, Mom, maybe you could find an AA meeting over there.
Hey, don't worry about me. I'll call someone, you know, if I need to. Just take care of yourself, and I'll be home right away, all right?
I will. Bye.
How's your mother doing?
She was stunned, like the rest of us. I'm afraid she's gonna backslide.
If she starts to drink because of this, you can't stop her, Karen.
I know. Well, she's gonna stay over in Europe and finish up the transactions that Scott had her doing.
Oh. It's very loyal, Rhonda. Seems so odd to hear Scott's business proceeding as usual when Scott himself